I have been every voice.
You are the chosen one!
This is where the fun begins.
Inside your head.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another video. Today is April the 4th, which means we're just 1 month away from the Bad Batch dropping, and I could not be more excited. In this video we're going to be talking about a Star Wars theory that we might see Grogu being rescued from Order 66 in the Bad Batch. So before we get stuck into the video, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so already, and also be sure to give that notification bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post new content. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive into it. So I was rewatching The Mandalorian Season 2 as I tend to do every now and then, and I was watching my favourite episode, which is Chapter 13 with Ahsoka, and something really stood out to me in this scene. When Ahsoka reveals to Din Djarin Grogu's name and his backstory, she tells him that he was saved from Order 66 before his memory goes dark. As we all know, Dave Filoni is the person who directed this episode, and he's also the creator of the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. Allow me to point something out to you. The language that Ahsoka uses is very deliberate and what I believe to be a subtle hint to fans as to when Grogu's backstory is going to be explored. Ahsoka says the following: "At the end of the Clone Wars, when the Empire rose to power, he was hidden." This combination of words seems very specific. She could have said when the Jedi were hunted down during the rise of the Empire, but instead she goes with this. Now, one of the 4 official descriptions for Star Wars The Bad Batch just so happens to use wording remarkably similar to this. It's as follows: Star Wars The Bad Batch follows the specialist commandos of Clone Force 99 as they embark on new missions at the end of the Clone War as the Empire rises to power. So let's just have a quick look at what Ahsoka said again. At the end of the Clone Wars, when the Empire rose to power, he was hidden. I believe that Dave Filoni threw this in as a subtle indicator that Grogu's rescue would be shown the next time that Star Wars explores the rise of the Empire, which as we know is going to be in the Bad Batch. Now this could all be coincidental, but since the Bad Batch had already been announced by this time, I do think it's a deliberate yet subtle way of hinting at viewers that we will see Grogu being rescued and hidden in the upcoming Clone Wars spin-off. Now, in my opinion, there would be a lot of incentive on the part of Lucasfilm and Dave Filoni to include Grogu in the Bad Batch. For one, it would clear up a lot of unknowns and answer a lot of questions outside of the realm of The Mandalorian, which leaves the Mandoverse open to press on with the story without having fans lingering on the small details of Grogu's backstory. Another possible reason that they'll include him is of course to profit off of the massive success of The Mandalorian. Let's be real, Grogu is enormously popular. Even people who don't watch The Mandalorian or even Star Wars know exactly who Baby Yoda is, or at least they've heard of him or seen him around. In fact, if you search for anything Star Wars related on Amazon or eBay, so many of the search results have Grogu on them. Cups, socks, face masks, t-shirts, thousands of toys, you name it, there is a heck of a lot of Grogu merch. And evidently, Disney knows this. The Bad Batch is the first of 3 big Star Wars releases this year, and they wouldn't miss out on the opportunity to include him in the show. Luckily for them, he's actually relevant to this one, because we know that he would have been saved from Order 66 and hidden at this point in the timeline. On a separate note, something I'm curious to see is how he looks in animated form. Would Grogu retain that same cuteness we love him for in the animation style of the Clone Wars? I guess we'll find out. Well, maybe. Now, in a comment I received on my Omega video, someone suggested that there could be a connection between her and Grogu, but honestly, I can't see a tangible link, but then again, we know next to nothing about who Omega is, so time will tell. But I turn it over to you. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a chance we'll see Grogu in the Bad Batch? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So as I stated at the beginning of the video, today marks 1 month exactly until the Bad Batch drops. That means we can waste no opportunity to speculate what we can expect in the show, and we're going to be doing just that. So here are 8 fan theories that could be confirmed by the new trailer that we received. The first one is the Separatist cells are still out there. The new Bad Batch trailer showed off more than just returning characters and a developing narrative. It also showed off some good-looking action. This is a tumultuous time for the galaxy, and just because the Clone Wars ended so suddenly, that does not mean the Separatists are all gone. As seen in the trailers, the Bad Batch alongside other clones are fending off groups of clankers. Now, of course, this could very well be a flashback to pre-Order 66 or even when Order 66 was happening. However, it seems more likely that they're simply out there taking out the final remnants of the Separatist alliance. Next up, we have Saw Gerrera and early signs of the rebellion. Speaking of action, there is set to be far more action than simply the Bad Batch cleaning up droids, with Saw Gerrera's injection into the series guaranteeing some really cool rebel behaviour, perhaps directed at the Separatist sympathisers but most likely to be aimed at the Empire. Some fans used the timeline, the nature of the show, and the fact that it's a Clone Wars spin-off to conclude that Saw Gerrera's appearance does make sense, and the earliest of signs of the rebellion could be underway in this show. Next up, we have a lot of Clone Wars themes. Just because Star Wars The Bad Batch is a spin-off show, it doesn't mean it won't address earlier themes in the Clone Wars. The new trailer confirms this. The concept of individuality and uniqueness of clones and their place in the galaxy was developed and brought up continuously throughout the 7 seasons of the Clone Wars. From Tarkin's comments to Saw Gerrera's offer to get out of the past, this show looks ready to take those narrative themes further, with a specific scope on Clone Force 99. Next up, we have a pretty obvious one from early on in the trailer that Clone Force 99, or The Bad Batch, are going to work with the Empire at first. The start of this new trailer has a voiceover from Tarkin as he talks about the talent of Clone Force 99, who are undergoing tests and exercises for him and the Empire. Many fans speculated as to whether or not Clone Force 99 would be a part of the Republic's transition into the Empire, and this trailer showcases that. Despite being protagonists of the show, Clone Force 99 did work for the Empire. This presents a series of moral dilemmas that will likely be tackled by the Bad Batch throughout the show and be a huge reason as to why they left the Empire. And of course the next one, as we saw in the trailer, when the Bad Batch become disobedient, they're hunted down by Tarkin and the Empire. An interesting detail in the trailer is when Tarkin talks about their unique disobedience. This does seem to indicate to us that either Clone Force 99 do not have inhibitor chips and therefore did not take part in Order 66, or they are defective due to the characters' differences as it pertains to usual clones. Many fans have been debating about what the group did when Order 66 was unleashed, and let's be real guys, we're all excited to find out what that is. Next we have Fennec Shand, and she is hunting down the Bad Batch. She was included in this trailer and is a welcome inclusion to the show, but since the first trailer many fans have speculated about her role, with the winning theory being that she's hunting Clone Force 99. It seems obvious that the Empire is hiring talented bounty hunters to take out the unique clones, and that should be the case. Shand seems to fit perfectly, but there could be more to the story. And now the big one guys, the one I'm sure you've all been waiting for. Something is going on with Crosshair. While he's no doubt an unrivaled marksman, he has an attitude and demeanour that makes him far more unlikable than any other clone personality-wise. As we know, the second trailer seems to indicate that something happens to him. He's not present with the other 4 members of Clone Force 99 for the majority of this trailer, and the tone surrounding him is different. Many fans have speculated that either Crosshair dies or he stays loyal to the Empire. Either of these theories could turn out to be the case. So finally, we're going to talk about Captain Rex. I spoke about him briefly yesterday, but let's talk about him more. It seems like a lot of fans were banking on the fact that Captain Rex would be returning to Star Wars. Alas, we got him briefly at the end of the trailer. He doesn't speak in it, he's just simply there, in the frame looking off a cliff towards a Venator class with his brothers, but he's still there, something that a lot of fans were counting on. The vast majority of speculation surrounding Rex has to do with Gregor, Wolf, or even Commander Cody. What seems to be certain is that this show is going to answer a lot of questions that could have saga-wide implications. I'm so excited for this show guys, and as I've said in the past, we are going to be doing full episode breakdowns on my channel. So do please stay around for this, but I do want to know what you think about the show in the comments below. Are you looking forward to The Bad Batch, and are you anticipating it as much as I am? As always my friends, if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, do all that good stuff down below, and also if you're feeling generous, please become a patron, where for just $2 or $10 a month you get exclusive access to content that's not found on YouTube. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.